welcome. Jason J. Devine here, Devine Horses and Humans. First off, you might see a bit of an umbrella. I've had to put an umbrella over the camera and just adapt and overcome because it's starting to rain here. So here we are in a round pen with Devine. You can see Devine is ground tied. This is how horses should be. They shouldn't want to leave you. They shouldn't be tied off short. And if you do tie a horse off short and you trap them, you've got trouble. And they learn to pull off. That trouble is just going to get worse. And if you're going to buy into all this BS the British equine industry sell you with bungee straps and fast release clips and all that jazz, it's just another bit of BS they're trying to sell you because that is part of the problem. So the bungee strap ones I've actually seen, like they ping off and then it creates so much chaos because it's elastic that the horse just completely loses its junk and it makes them fearful again. So here we go. Preparation, that's what I'm talking about today. Right, you need to pay attention to me, right, and get off and start moving your feet, start doing as you're told. Right, black or white makes it right, okay? So, one of the other things that I constantly saw in the British equine industry, and you see pictures of it all the time. You see how she's got a bit of a move on there. But she's investigating things, so it's really good. Well, it's a bit A in there, so we use that to our advantage. You see these pictures of horses with their ears forward and up high-headed, and everyone's, oh, look at that horse and all this and that. Right, and you see all these video shorts of people, humans with horses, and the horse is off in the distance again, oh, and the horse is like, brr, brr, right? When that horse goes off into the distance, right, and they start looking over there and their ears are full, that is when trouble is out there. Trouble's going to show up. And this is where they don't teach you in this country to read a horse, because everything is about them being high-headed, ears forward, like cranked in on their neck, because that's the way they see it. Where that's a horse that's just full of cortisol, fear. So when they stand there and they look, they're in a freeze mode, right? So when a horse or a human goes into freeze mode, well, what's happening is, right, and you'll see rabbits do it, you'll see deer do it, they just stand there. And what they're doing, right, direction, support. Right, so now I'm just going to take it away from her, but she's dealing with it. Right, so what they're doing is they're making a decision, and even human beings this happens to, they're making a decision. Your sympathetic nervous system's cut in, where you're going to make a decision of, right, what am I going to do? Am I going to fight my way out of this, or am I going to run away? Right, so when this trouble turns up, so like, let's talk about trouble, right? These dustbins, these are British dustbins. I've had so much trouble with these, with horses, and I think it's the blue colour on the top. So you see I've got a lot of stuff in here that's blue, because I think horses struggle with that colour. So I let her investigate it, and then I'm like, no, I want a bit more. No, it's not over here, it's over there. So, direct, yeah? And the stick and the string is to support. Direct, support. Right, a little bit fast that way, so let's see if we can get it a little bit slower. So, direct, and I'm a little bit less support. A little bit less support, no, direct, support, no. Get on with it. Right, it's there then, isn't it? Bit fast, but it is tight. Over there, no. Over there, no. Over there, no. Go on, no. She doesn't want to, she's looking for everything else. No. Go on. Direct. come on, and support, support, support. You see, when horses get like this, you've got to keep working at it. You've got to keep working at it. She's like, no, no, I'm going to have an argument. See, and this is where she could go up if you started pulling her in the face. Right, so what I'm going to do is, okay, then I'm going to use the backwards, and we're going to use the backwards, and we're going to move her away, and then I'm going to let her go and investigate something, and I'm going to open the gap. Right, so now we're going to do it. So, there we go, that's better. Still a little bit too fast. I want a little bit slower, there. Right, change, direct, no, over there, support, there you go. So, you see, she goes into collection, no need to crank on her face. So, backing up horses resolves a lot of things, biting being one of them. And it's all about preparation, so you should be able to just move a horse without moving your feet, and then you should be able to come in here and go, right, disengage. Right, now I want you to go backwards. And you go backwards. I want you to go backwards. And what's this teaching her is trailer loading, isn't it? Right, no, that's not what we're looking for. So I want some straightness. Right, so get over there. Right, now back up. Back up. So what I could do here, because she's not understanding what I want, because I'm not being clear, so I'm going to drive her out, because that's how I move horses in and out. Right, I don't walk in front of them. Right, I stand to the side. She's still fast, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask her to come through, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to back her up. Then I'm going to ask her to come in. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to back her up. Back her up. Back her up. Right, because I'm dyslexic, talking to dyslexic time, it's 9:05 on the 21st of January 2025, the longest day of the year here in Britain. I worked in the British equine industry for over 25,000 hours, that's a decade. And one of the things that constantly coming up, and this is where I say they lie to you, right? Because they don't actually know, right? They want me to walk in front into the stable. I don't even know this horse that I'm working with. Right? I've just been told, oh, they're all right, they're fantastic. I don't believe anybody that says anything to me about a particular horse, because horses react different to certain people, like people react different to certain people. You know, I might have a best friend and it's my best friend and it's everything's the best thing since sliced bread, but you are a friend of mine, but you don't like that friend. That makes sense. So what I do is I stand at the side of the stable and I'll go, right, in you go. And then what I do is I wait till they get to the end of there, and then they have to do this thing called disengagement, and I'll do it from both sides. So you'll see it here. That's disengagement. It teaches them to bend. And I'm not putting myself in a dangerous position. I'm not putting myself in this position of standing in a door frame that a horse is going to come blasting through, because nobody has had the time to put a foundation in them, to educate them, because, oh no, that's what horses do, they tell you here in the British equine world. That's horses, you know, they're spooky, they're this, they blame everything else, then they got all the bloody gear and they got no idea, and that's exactly what it is. And if that doesn't work, oh, we'll just get a stronger bit, we'll just resort to doping them. And then they don't understand why the horses don't perform when they go to the competition, because they just had to dope them to get them on a trailer. And they make out they're rocket scientists. Yeah, I don't think so. And that's what I said, you know, I'm a dyslexic horse guy. There's a big hole in the British equine industry with groundwork, people working on the ground. And this needs to be taught to people. Because if you've got no groundwork, no foundation, right, If you can't get a horse to do that, right, and you can't get a horse to back out your way without you dragging on them or then blasting through it, you've got a problem. And that problem's going to turn up in the saddle. And where are you going to go when that problem turns up? Because all you've got is long lining and lunging. That's all you've got. So let's try something else here. So all you've got is long line and lunging, right? So where else do you go when your horse has a problem? That, be warned, right? You are part of that problem. Yeah? No, nope, no. You've made a decision to go that way. So you need to go that way. Come on. No. So I'm using whatever tools I've got to use, right? She made a decision to go this way. Right. So what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do when your horse dumps you out on a jump? How are you going to get around it? You're going to keep running at it and keep going at it and keep going at it and keep going and keep falling off? Or could you do that? No, because there's not a lot of people in this country that do this style of groundwork that's called a foundation. And that's why I'm here to talk about it, because the problem needs to be talked about, because the younger generation need to understand this, because horses' educations are being looked over, right? And there's so many sharks in the British equine industry, like you would not believe, right? And they would tell you, you're the greatest horse person in the world, this, that and the other, because you've been around horses since the year dot, but you've had a fall, you've had a horse run through you, you've had all this stuff, and then the industry's lied to you and gone, oh yeah, that's what it's all about, being a brave rider, fearless, no stupidity. And deep down inside, the incredible Hulk's raging in you that this horse is getting the best of you. So you use incredible Hulk groundwork tactics, strength, presence, domination, fear, pain. Or we go the other way. We go the other way. Everything's a tool. Everything is an opportunity. Or you go the other way, where you're just a wilting flower inside and you can't deal with it anymore. You don't know how to deal with it anymore, because you've basically got nowhere left to go. You've got no tools left in your arsenal, because you've lunged the life out of your horse and it's become real strong and real fast and real forward. You've had a go at long lining it and it just drags you all around the sandstall, because you can't train horses in paddocks because of the grass, because there's too much temptation, complete and utter BS. And because you're long lining them and they're full of fear, your horse is full of fear, because they don't really understand what you're asking them. But the one thing that they do understand is you're covering something up. You're wearing a mask, and you're wearing a mask because you are producing cortisol, because your sympathetic nervous system is going bonkers. And they see through it. And they are just being a horse. That's all they're being, is a horse. They are nothing else but a horse. They can't be anything else. They're not human beings. They're not human beings. They're not a cat. They're not a dog. They're a horse. Like, where do you see out in the herd when another horse goes, oh, do you want this piece of grass here? Oh, come over here and you can have it. Don't work like that. It don't work like that. And you want bravery. And if you can't go with your horse like this, right, and direct them when there's a little bit of chaos going on and they don't trust you, right, she's running me into trouble. She needs to be able to use her mind here, right? We'll keep going, and she stopped. So I'm going to take it away, and I'm just going to dump it there. So she's standing on the lead rope, pick it up. So now I'm going to go and get her to investigate that. So you're in this position in the British equine industry where you've got no tools left. And you just put human values and emotions onto them because that's what everybody else does. And they go, oh, it's because of this, oh, it's because of that. Oh, it's the wheelbarrow, oh, it's the tarp. Oh no, it's Jason's left the yard a mess. Jason didn't put the broom away. Jason moved the wheelbarrow. Oh, Jason's got a new coloured wheelbarrow, that's the problem. I've heard it all before. And yes, I am having a drink. You need patience to do this. And if you can't be bothered to be patient, you're going to struggle. Because, as I said, all the people I've helped, the general thing is they want to stop having a fight with their horse. Right? Hello? Pay attention. They want to stop. I didn't hit her, I hit the ground. They want to stop having a fight with their horse. And the problem is, especially when they're in the saddle, and I see it over and over and over again, the rider's tense because they're anxious, or they're moody teenagers that when you say to them about their mindset and being moody and body language, they like look at you like you've got 14 heads, and they don't have a seat. They can't balance on the horse. They use the reins as a seatbelt effect. So they hang on the horse's face, basically. So when they hang on the horse's face, this fight starts to appear. It's not a fight, it's the horse fleeing for its life. It's gone into that survival mode. And this is what you have to do. Stuff like this over and over and over again. The more you do it, the better they are. 1,000 times I need to do that. Now I want her to go and look at it. I want her to go and stand on it. Now it is raining, I'm glad I put the brolly up. Check that tarp out. Check that out. And as I said, there's a value to doing nothing. And if you want something different with the horse, you need to do something different. You just can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then when it goes wrong, you're just going to blame the horse. No, it's not the horse's fault. They're a horse. And you can get a horseman in to sort it out. And I guarantee you, when that horseman's left, that problem's going to come back. And why is that problem going to come back? Because that horseman hasn't talked to you about your sympathetic nervous system, how this horse makes you feel. Is she losing her mind? No, she's moving her feet and she's looking for an answer. Go on. Go on then, you go backwards then. Go backwards then. She's looking for an answer. What do you want out of me, she's saying. And I'm saying, what I want you to do is stand still, and if you want to go backwards, I'm going to use it. Better horse goes backwards, the better it does everything else. And I'm going to offer it, and now I'm going to take it away. Take it away. Because these horsemen that are out there, they don't even talk about it. The British equine industry doesn't even talk about it. Fear-based animal, full of cortisol. You need to go and Google the sympathetic nervous system. You need to go and Google cortisol and what cortisol does to us and what it does to the horse. Right, and I'm going to say it, I'm severely dyslexic, right? So I've always had this anxiety in me because I'm an idiot, I'm stupid, all of this thing. I'm not, I'm stupidly clever. And I went and worked in the British equine industry, thought, oh, you know, this is going to be great, fantastic and all of that. Spent over 25,000 hours working with horses, already knew a little bit of this method I was doing. And I thought, oh, it's going to be great and fantastic. And my anxiety started going off the chart. And I was like, why is it people, the humans in the British equine industry seem to resent me when I get things done? Why is that? Because they take it as an attack, because they have no knowledge. They have run out, because they are non-neurodiverse. I'm dyslexic. I think that way. I don't think straight on. I have to be able to get around things. And I solve puzzles. And I couldn't understand for the life of me. I kept hanging in there and thinking, oh, it'll get better. It'll get better. I'll find somebody that will accept this. So, piece of tarp. So that's the beginning of the big tarp. And I thought, oh, I'll find somebody that will accept this and get it and harness it and go, oh yeah, I really want to use this. You've got something. No. They just, you're an idiot. That's ridiculous. You're doping horses. The best one I heard was circus tricks. That was the best one. Oh, that's just circus tricks. Well, pretty impressive what they do with horses in the circus, and they don't get it done by beating the snot out of them, do they? Or doping them. No. And this is the part. This is the part. Let's just see if we can get her through that, right? So I would go about all of this stuff with my own equipment, my own skill set, my own knowledge, right? And I would teach horses what you're seeing exactly now. Backing up stops biting. Backing up makes everything else so much better. Backing up gets you a respectful relationship with a horse. And there's enough horses in the British equine industry that can't even go through a door frame forward without rushing through it. So if you offer it to go backwards, they're like, oh, that's witchcraft, that's circus tricks. See? And that's the other bit, and that's where I'm going to finish it. Always save 2% for the prey animal, because it always turns up. And I apologise for the brolly slipping. So at that one, we're going to wrap this up. I would say all the usual jokes, but I'm not going to say it, because you're going to click whatever you want to click, you're going to unclick whatever you want to click, you're going to write whatever you want to write, yeah? Because you've got this actual thing called a brain in your head, right? Don't be a sheep, be a leader, be a wolf, step out of your comfort zone. Go learn about sympathetic nervous system. If you've got anxiety, depression, any of that, go learn about sympathetic nervous system. It's going to help you in ways that once you understand it, it will make so much sense to you. And horses are the greatest therapist in the world for it. But it first starts with us, and it starts here to deal with our emotions, to deal with our physical. So at that one, thanks for checking us out. Check out previous past content, and we'll see you all in the next one. 1,000 apologies about the brolly.